It's time for high school sports on the NCWLIFE channel. Today's broadcast of high school sports on the NCWLIFE channel is presented by Alignment Pros, Automoca, Color FX, Global Car Care, One Way Construction, Dick's Heating and Air Conditioning, Biosports Physical Therapy, and the Windmill Restaurant. Now let's go live for all the action for tonight's coverage of high school sports on your home for local sports, the NCWLIFE channel.
Welcome, wrestling fans, to Wenatchee High School. Eric Grandstrom with you here tonight as we get ready for a Big Nine wrestling match between the Wenatchee Panthers and the West Valley Rams. Both teams winless so far in the dual meet season, but the dual meets mean less these days than it is tournament. That's what counts, and they're about a month away from getting to the district tournament, and wrestlers are trying to find themselves in better shape following the holidays. We'll talk to the coach about whether they were able to fare as well as he'd hoped as far as weight was concerned, and then also how the team is shaping up as we get ready for this downhill run towards the postseason. It's the Wenatchee Panthers and the West Valley Rams. We'll have that for you next on the NCWLIFE channel.
Hi, I'm Kevin Prosser, and this is my print shop, Color FX in Cashmere. Color FX offers screen printing, embroidery, and digital printing on t-shirts, jerseys, bags, banners, signs, and more. With 30 years experience, you won't be disappointed with the quality and quick turnaround times you will get at more than a fair price. Please call Color FX.
Back to Wenatchee High School as we get ready for tonight's match between the Wenatchee Panthers and the West Valley Rams. Time for our coach's interview with Ed Valdez, and our interview brought to you by TC Slingers. If it's rock, bark, sand, or soil, there's no need for wheelbarrows, shovels, or rakes. They'll place the material for you. Well, Coach, the biggest question is how the kids did over the holidays as far as weight is concerned.
Oh, I tell you, things move fast over the holidays and kids gain weight, but we're actually come through the holidays with good movement. We're actually starting to get ready for postseason. We only have this month, so kids are starting to make their descent right now. So kids like Lucas Tranza are starting their cut. He's certified at 182. He's wrestling 220 or heavyweight tonight, but he'll be wrestling 182 postseason. So that's kind of the way our sport goes, and he's ready to go down now.
I was talking in the pregame moments ago about the fact that it seems the dual meet season doesn't mean as much other than getting wrestlers ready for the postseason. Is that kind of accurate?
I don't like to take that philosophy. My philosophy is win, 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 win. I mean, it's been rough. We've had a rough season last year, and we haven't won a match this year. And I want to win every time. I mean, dual meets matter to me, and we don't just overlook those. But that is the philosophy of a lot of coaches. You're right.
I know it's about compete. You compete in the wrestling room all week long, and you get out here on the match. It doesn't matter if it's a tournament or if it's a dual match. Compete, right?
Right, absolutely. It's the thing where you're in competition when you're on the mat or when you're in the classroom trying to get an A, or if you're after college and you're trying to get a job, it's always competition, and that's sort of the way life is. So you really have to just focus on winning all the time.
I want to get your thoughts real quick on Stan Opp. He's being inducted into the Wenatchee Panther Hall of Fame here this week. We're going to have that a little bit in our pregame here tonight. But tell me about Stan and what he's meant to the Wenatchee program.
Well, Stan Opp, I met in 1977, and he's become one of my best friends. I was very fortunate to wrestle with him. He was my coach. I got to wrestle for him at Eastern Washington University, and then since that, he came to Wenatchee, and he was here 1 year without me. I spent 20 years as his assistant, and then he came and helped me as my assistant, and he still comes into the room most days. And he is wrestling to Wenatchee, in my opinion. He came and he changed the mentality of just having a team and going out there and performing however he gave them a sense of pride. I think Wenatchee High School's pride goes a long ways with Coach Opp. He's the epitome of all of what that acronym means. So to wrestling, he is in every Hall of Fame there is for wrestling. He's in the College Hall of Fame. He's in his own high school Hall of Fame. He's in the Washington State Coaches Hall of Fame. And I think he is being inducted tomorrow or tomorrow at the Town Toyota Center, and he's everything that you think of wrestling that's good. That's Coach Opp.
Oh, that's perfect. And as you alluded to, it's about time they induct him into this Hall of Fame as well.
Yeah, I don't think it was something that was pressing for him or even myself to nominate him. It's something that someone else nominated him for. I mean, it's a fantastic thing for him, but I mean, awards isn't what he's about. He's about kids and teaching them to be good human beings.
Well, Ed, best of luck to her tonight, and keep everybody healthy.
Thank you.
Ed Valdez joining us here on the pregame show. We'll come back, get you the lineups, and get you some wrestling coming up on the NCWLIFE channel.
What's your Automocha emergency?
It's a Frappuccino mocha with whip.
The espresso shakes are my most favorite because I can get any flavor. Peanut butter chocolate for pita.
Definitely the espresso shakes.
My favorite is the mocha for pitas.
A peach Red Bull.
Welcome back once again here to Wenatchee High School as the Rams get warmed up out on the mat here, getting ready for the varsity match. We had 3 JV matches, and they were all won by West Valley and all via pin. Our broadcast tonight here on the NCWLIFE channel brought to you by the Alignment Pros and Express Lube. Keep your car in top shape at Alignment Pros and Express Lube, including front and four-wheel alignment. Online at alignpros.com or at 182 East Bond Avenue. Also by Automocha. What's your Automocha emergency? Visit one of their 6 locations in the valley, including the only Automocha with inside seating on 5th Street across from the college. Let's take a look at the lineups here for the 2 combatants here tonight. First for the visitors, the West Valley Rams with a record of 0-3 in dual match so far in the Big 9 season. Their head coach is Dave Stye. He's assisted by Roger McCausland and Brian Gibson. We're going to start at 152 pounds, so we'll start there and then work our way back from there. Connor Cook will get the start here at 152 pounds. He is a senior for the West Valley Rams. He will go up against Jordan Velasquez of Wenatchee, also a senior at 152. The 160-pound match will feature freshman Jace Taylor-Reed of West Valley against the Panthers' Jason Briley, who is a junior. At 170 pounds, Orlando Rodriguez of Wenatchee will get a forfeit in that particular match. The sophomore will give 6 points to the Panthers' team score. Caleb Braswell will be wrestling at 182 pounds for West Valley. He's a freshman, and he'll go up against the Panthers' Omar Cruz, who is a sophomore. At 195 pounds, Ronan Haynes for the Wenatchee Panthers, a senior, will go up against another senior in the form of Chris Luke for West Valley. The 220-pound match tonight will feature senior Hunter Vickers for the West Valley Rams against junior Lucas Carranza for the Wenatchee Panthers. You heard from Coach Ed Valdez about Lucas. He's wrestling down really at 185 pounds, but wrestling up tonight to 220 to get himself ready for the postseason. The 285-pound match will be sophomore Parker Shea for West Valley and freshman Mason Moore for the Wenatchee Panthers. Wenatchee will forfeit the 106-pound match to Gabe Lovelace of West Valley. The sophomore will get the victory there, and then they'll return the favor at 113 pounds with a forfeit for West Valley to Toby Hamilton for Wenatchee, the freshman. The 120-pound match tonight will be Anthony Campy, a sophomore for West Valley, against Orlando Cervantes, a freshman for the Wenatchee Panthers. At 126 pounds, it's sophomore Jackson Whittam against the freshman from Wenatchee, Tyler Skyleman. At 132 pounds, it's junior Donald Jump for West Valley against Hayden Rose McKenzie for the Wenatchee Panthers. He is a senior. The 138-pound match will be our last wrestling match of the night here at the varsity ranks, as Josh Luth, the freshman, will take on Diego Gonzalez, the senior. At 138 pounds, Leo Gutzweiler will get a forfeit at 145 pounds, as West Valley could not fill the weight. So those are the lineups here as we get ready for wrestling tonight on the NCWLIFE channel. Our broadcast tonight brought to you in part by Color Effects, offering screen printing, embroidery, digital printing, and logo design for your team, school, business, or church at a fair price. Locally owned for over 20 years, call Color Effects at 509-741-7609. Also by Global Car Care, a quality auto repair facility with highly trained technicians celebrating 25 years in the car care business. They speak your car's language at 1840 North Wenatchee Avenue. As the warm-ups continue, we're just a few minutes away from the pregame ceremonies, and we'll have that for you coming up on the NCWLIFE channel. Stay right there.
Hi, my car's making a funny noise.
Not a problem. We'll take care of you.
Global Car Care's technicians are ASE Master Techs and well-versed in the more refined methods of vehicular diagnostics.
Number 3 piston and rings have a slight loss of compression, down to 108 pounds. Your transmission is slipping. You're gonna need a service.
Looks like you all set.
These guys? They're good.
Oh, and your spare is flat.
Global Car Care, Wenatchee's top shop.
Welcome back once again here to Wenatchee High School as the West Valley Rams clear the mats. The Wenatchee Panthers warming up in the interior room. And let's turn it over to our public address announcer, Alfredo Martinez, who's going to help us out with our pregame ceremony here at Wenatchee High School. And I believe the first thing we'll do is our national anthem, which we normally take a commercial break for that, but it's so good, I think we need to stick here for that. So we'll do that coming up here in just a moment. Our broadcast tonight brought to you by One Way Construction, a premier custom home builder and construction company for North Central Washington, including general contracting, framing, concrete, and consulting services. Online at onewayconstructionnw.com. Also by The Windmill, a time-tested restaurant providing traditional steakhouse meals and a homey, old-fashioned dining room. Open 7 days a week, 4:30 to 9. Call 509-665-9529. I think somebody is chasing into the locker room to get the Wenatchee Panther wrestlers out here. Let's tell you what's happening in the Big Nine so far as the dual meet season. Sunnyside, I think they're ranked 9th in the state right now in 4A. They're perfect at 2-0. Eisenhower 2-0. Moses Lake 2-1. Davis 2-1. Eastmont 1-2. Wenatchee and West Valley on the bottom of the stack. So they're getting the everybody lined up here for, I believe, we're going to have a little pregame ceremony. It's strange that we wouldn't have the Wenatchee wrestlers out here for the national anthem, but looks like that might be the direction we're going. Here come the Wenatchee wrestlers out of the hallway. So we're going to wait till the wrestlers get all lined up here and ready as we hear it from the home fans here at Wenatchee High School. Not quite as scripted as we see some of the other pregame ceremonies and the processes. But as soon as the Panthers line up, we'll have our national anthem.
Song
There you go. That was why we hung around for the national anthem there. Wonderfully done by Miss Navarro. At least that's what it says on her sweatshirt. So I can only go by that.
Welcome again to tonight's wrestling. Before we begin our wrestling, we would like to do a little presentation. Ladies and gentlemen, we would like to start the night off by recognizing one of the past Panther great coaches, Mr. Stan Opp. Stan is part of the 2019 WHS Panther Booster Club Hall of Fame inductees. The official ceremony will be tomorrow night at approximately 7:30 p.m. before the boys' basketball game at the Town Toyota Center. The following is a brief recap of Stan's coaching career.
Stan says a brief one.
Prior to coming to the Wenatchee School District in 1983 to teach math and coach wrestling, Stan served as the head wrestling coach at Eastern Washington University for 5 years. During his 5-year tenure at Eastern, Stan led his team to a second and third place finish at the NAIA National Tournament before Eastern eliminated its wrestling program. After taking the reins of the Panther Wrestling Squad, the South Dakota State Hall of Fame athlete proceeded to turn the WHS program around and built it into a wrestling powerhouse, winning 69% of all dual meets while compiling a 164, 72, and 3 record. Now we can say, woo! During Stan's 21 years of coaching the Panthers, they placed in the top 8 at the state 4A wrestling tournament 9 consecutive years, with a second place finish, a third place finish, and 2 fifth place finishes during that time period. In addition to their state places, the Coach Opp-led Panthers won 2 regional titles, 3 district championships, 2 Big 9 league titles, and 12 Big 9 second place finishes. Coach Opp capped off his wrestling coaching career by being named the Washington State Wrestling Coach of the Year in 1999. Stan served as a head wrestling coach for 21 seasons, retiring in 2004. Stan broadened his coach horizon in the spring of 1994 as he took over boys' golf program. During this time coaching golf, Stan had 12 to 15 straight qualifiers in what was the ultra-competitive original Big 9 conference. Stan also coached the boys' golf team for 21 seasons, retiring in 2014. Finally, Stan was recognized for his coaching excellence with the Panther wrestling and golf teams by being named the North Central Washington Coach of the Decade of the 1990s. Again, congratulations to Stan for his selection to the Panther Booster Club Hall of Fame.
Well, there you go. Wonderful opportunity to recognize a man who's given so much to kids, not just wrestlers, not just golfers, but kids in his illustrious career. We're going to take a break, come back with more here as we continue with the pregame show next here on the NCWLIFE channel. Stay right there.
When you call Dick's Heating and Air Conditioning, you get 35 years of experience and customer service in the Wenatchee Valley. Dick's friendly staff strongly believe in repairing before replacing and service all major brands of HVAC units. Dick's Heating and Air Conditioning is your local, independent, trained comfort specialists, proudly serving all of North Central Washington. Call 884-6444 today.
Hey everyone, did you know that the NCWLIFE channel is North Central Washington's go-to source for news? No matter how you prefer to view your news, NCWLIFE has you covered. Watch the evening news weeknights on TV, stream it, read it at ncwlife.com, or catch the latest news by following us on Facebook. Stay informed with local news, sports, weather, and shows featuring local people and events. NCWLIFE, a reflection and a spotlight of the communities we call home.
Welcome back once again. The face-off happening right now here at Wenatchee High School as we get ready for this match between the West Valley Rams and the Wenatchee Panthers. We appreciate you joining us. Our broadcast on the NCWLIFE channel brought to you by Dick's Heating and Air Conditioning. They service all brands of commercial, residential HVAC systems. Call 509-884-6444 for more information. Also by BioSports Physical Therapy, providing the best environment, most qualified, experienced therapists in North Central Washington. You have the right to select your healthcare team. Why wouldn't you choose the best? Choose BioSports. Well, the recognition of Stan Ott just happened moments ago. We're going to have Stan put on the headset here in just a little bit to join us on the broadcast and maybe reflect a little bit and talk about wrestling here as we have wrestling on tap tonight here on the NCWLIFE channel. Again, we're going to start at 152 pounds when we get to it. Connor Cook, a senior for the West Valley Rams, will take on Jordan Velasquez, a senior for the Wenatchee Panthers. Neither team has a victory in the Big Nine dual season as of yet, and so that'll change here tonight for sure. The only other match that's happening tonight is at Davis, where the Pirates are hosting Sunnyside. Of course, the powerhouse Grizzlies off to a great start on another wrestling season here in 2018 and now with the new year 2019. Our official for tonight's match is Randy Miller. And we're just about ready for wrestling here tonight on the NCWLIFE channel. I'll give you a chance to remind you that our broadcast brought to you by the Windmill Restaurant in Wenatchee, priding itself on being a local legend for 80 years. The Windmill features slow roasted prime rib, highest quality hand-cut steaks, and fresh seafood. Homemade dressings and pies are made daily and are the mainstay of this legendary landmark restaurant. The Windmill has a full bar and an excellent selection of beer and wine from which to choose. Call the Windmill today at 665-9529. Also by One Way Construction, founded in 2000. One Way is a premier custom home builder and construction company in Leavenworth, Chelan, Cashmere, Wenatchee, all in North Central Washington. Whether your project requires general contracting, framing, concrete, or consulting services, they want to be part of making your vision a reality. They believe that great communication and customer service plays the most important role of a successful construction project. Find them on the web at onewayconstructionnw.com. Well, the captains met at the center mat here, along with our referee, Randy Miller, and we're just about ready for wrestling tonight here on the NCWLIFE channel. And we'll get this first match underway and kind of get a little breathing going on here out on the mat, and then we'll welcome Stan Ott to our broadcast here. As Connor Cook, again, the West Valley senior, will take on Jordan Velasquez, the senior for Wenatchee, and we are underway here tonight on the NCWLIFE channel, also streaming live on ncwlife.com, and welcome in to some of those fans down in the Yakima Valley who are watching on the stream here this evening. As the lights go dim, it might affect our cameras just a little bit, so ladies, be prepared if you need to brighten things up a little bit. Wenatchee cheer squad across the way, cheering the wrestler for Wenatchee, Jordan Velasquez, as we are underway in this 152-pound match. Again, if you're not familiar with wrestling, they do a straw draw before the match as the weigh-ins are taking place to determine where we will start as far as the weight classification. And tonight's here right in the middle of the pack at 152 pounds. Scoreless so far, minute 20 into the first round of this 152-pound bout. Shot over towards the edge of the mat, taken by Connor Cook. The wrestlers go out of bounds, no advantage gained, so back to the center mat they come at the request of Randy Miller, our official here tonight. Both wrestlers just kind of feeling each other out. I wanted to thank Connor Cook, by the way, helping me out with pronunciations and the lineups here for West Valley. Coach was in the locker room stool, so Connor was happy enough to help out. Good deep shot there by Cook. Got the two legs, trying to hang on to one. Trying to drag also Velasquez back towards the mat here. Trying for the elevator. He's got the advantage. Now it's a matter of if he can trip him and keep him in bounds, and he does, and he gets the 2-point takedown. So the first points come with 35 seconds remaining in the first round here for Connor Cook. The West Valley wrestler on top and in the lead here, 2-0 over Jordan Velasquez for the Wenatchee Panthers. Both wrestlers go out of bounds, so they'll head back to the center of the mat with Velasquez in the down position with 23 seconds remaining in this first period. First match of the night, 3 forfeits for West Valley, 1 for Wenatchee. So points team-wise, 18 in the bank here for Wenatchee, 6 for West Valley. Could make a huge difference down the stretch depending on the matchups here this evening. Both wrestlers again go out of bounds with 16 seconds remaining. And so they'll come back to the center of the mats and get in the referee's position and start wrestling once again. Standing up quickly, Velasquez trying to get maybe an escape point here before the round winds out. 7 seconds left as Cook was able to break him back down again. West Valley, a big fan of the far side cradle as we saw in the JV matches. In fact, all 3 pins were via the far side cradle. So it'll be the West Valley wrestler Connor Cook that will choose down here to start things in round 2, leading it by a score of 2-0. Wrestlers are set, whistle comes, and quickly to his feet is Cook, trying to get an escape or maybe a reversal. No, he'll just spin out of there. And 1-point escape. He leads it 3-0 here over Jordan Velasquez. A battle of seniors to start this off tonight here at 152 pounds. Velasquez has not been the aggressor for certain here in the first round plus, as it is Connor Cook. Now a shot by Velasquez, looking for the single leg, but had his arm tied up by Cook. Cook will back up and try to get more room away from the side of the mat to work here, as he shucks his head aside with 1:20 to go in the second round. Kind of a half-hearted attempt at a shot there by Velasquez, and a decent counter by Cook. Jordan reaching out, and Cook just trying to set him up here with a head tap. Tries for the single leg. He gets it. Now he'll bring it up in the elevator again. This is how he got his first takedown as he leads it 3-0 with 54 seconds. Velasquez has the whizzer in, and both wrestlers go out of bounds and will still be in the neutral position here, up with 49 seconds to go in the second round. 3-0 Cook in front of Velasquez. Our first match of the night here on the NCWLIFE channel. Another shot by Velasquez, but a counter by Cook as he sprawls out and keeps Velasquez away from the legs. Velasquez again reaches out, and Cook takes advantage, gets the single leg in pretty deep. And Velasquez trying to back off the mat here. Wrestler's close to going out of bounds. Still no advantage with 18 seconds left, and now they spin out of bounds, and it will be 2-point takedown given to Connor Cook as Velasquez was reaching for the out-of-bounds stripe. Instead, it'll be a 5-0 lead here for Cook with 16 seconds remaining in the second round. Jace Taylor-Reed, the freshman, up next at 160 pounds for West Valley. Jason Bradley warming up, the junior for the Wenatchee Panthers, our next match at 160 pounds. Tossing him back to the mat was Cook with 8 seconds left in the round. Not a lot of movement down on the bottom by Velasquez. And again, trying to bar that arm up is Cook as he works out to the side, but the time will wind out here in this second period. Velasquez will take down here to start the third round, trailing at 5-0. Needs to get a lot of work in here over the next 2 minutes. Stands up, but then trailing and taking that leg and then tripping him is Cook. Cook has had a counter for just about everything. We got a stall warning whistled against the West Valley wrestler. As Cook leads it 5-0 here in this 152-pound bout. Again, to his feet goes Velasquez. Hand fighting, and spins away and gets a 1-point escape. Nice job by Jordan Velasquez to get his first point of the match with 1:39 to go here in the third. The shot by Velasquez, the counter by Cook, and then Cook gets in really deep, awfully close to collecting 2 more points on a takedown here, and he will. 7-1 now the score. Cook in charge of this one. So Jordan Velasquez going to have to get to his base, get a reversal, and right to the back of Connor Cook. But Cook is shown to be the aggressor in this one so far. Halfway through the 3rd period of this one for Jordan Velasquez and Connor Cook. Velasquez again to his feet, going out of bounds. Will they give him 1 point? No, he was too far out of bounds by the time he got to his feet, so he will remain in the down position there with 57 seconds remaining in this 3rd round. Again, Velasquez quickly to his feet, hand fighting, but a good job of countering by Cook as he is able to take him back down to his base. Cook a little high here with the hand fight. Velasquez sits out, but riding on the tight waist is Cook. Reaching back for a head is Velasquez. With 30 seconds, gets to his feet again. Cook trying to break him down here, and will just turn him loose, so both wrestlers will be up, and it's a 7-2 match. So now it's throw time for Velasquez if you want to try to win this one, trailing it by 5 points. Shot, counter by Cook. Cook just trying to hold on here. He gets the 2 legs and covers behind. Still no takedown given as they both go back to their feet with 10 seconds. Almost out of bounds. Velasquez trying to spin. Both wrestlers even with 5 seconds, with 4, with 3, with 2, and that's going to be the match, as it will be Connor Cook getting the 7-2 victory here over Jordan Velasquez at 152 pounds. Our broadcast tonight brought to you by the Alignment Pros and Express Lube. Keep your car in top shape at Alignment Pros and Express Lube, including front and 4-wheel alignment. Online at alignpros.com or at 182 Eastmont Avenue. We go to the 160-pound match. We have freshman for West Valley, Jace Taylor Reed, against the junior for Wenatchee, Jason Briley. Getting the scoreboard back to zeros here, as we have 160 pounds. And I mentioned that to Becca beforehand, that she might have to override the whole weight classification back in the studio. So looks like that'll be the case for the rest of the night, as we're 160 pounds underway here with Taylor Reed and Briley. And Taylor Reed will get the takedown here. 2 points for the freshman. And he'll slam, and we're going to get locking hands and a point and a 2-point reversal. And so it's now a 3-2 match with the Wenatchee wrestler Jason Briley in front. Well, they've got the score, I don't think, quite right on the board here. There was no near fall points. It should be 3-2, Briley on top. The official, Randy Miller. There we go. Now we've got it corrected. 3-2 on the scoreboard, with Briley leading it, and he is on top. Coming from the left side of Taylor Reed here from the referee's position. Reed sprawls out, and then Briley takes him down to off of his base. Taylor Reed gets back to his base, tries to work to his feet, and he does with 1:04 to go. Hanging on is Briley. Briley able to hold on to that wrist ride and then spin him down to the mat one more time. Briley gets a half in, kind of tough when he's still on his base, but maybe the strength to turn him. He does. Looking for a pin. Jason Briley at 160 pounds, fighting for his life underneath the freshman, Jace Taylor Reed. We got a pin with 37 seconds remaining in the first round. So 1:23 in officially will be the win for Jason Briley. And the Panthers take the lead here, 6-3. Our next match is a forfeit. Orlando Rodriguez for Wenatchee will earn the Panthers 16 points at 170 pounds. So the sophomore will get the raise the hand here for the forfeit. Our broadcast tonight brought to you by Automoca. What's your Automoca emergency? Visit one of their 6 locations in the Valley, including the only Automoca with inside seating on 5th Street across from Wenatchee Valley College. So 12-3, the team score will go with the 6 points on the forfeit to Orlando Rodriguez. And meanwhile, It will head to the 182-pound match, and it'll be West Valley's freshman Caleb Braswell against the sophomore for Wenatchee, Omar Cruz. 182 pounds here up next on the NCWLIFE channel. Our official gets ready to go here, and the wrestlers are ready, and we're underway. A little loose on the headgear for Omar Cruz. It's almost down over the bridge of his nose already on the head slap there by Braswell. In fact, Cruz reaches up, tries to pull it up, while Braswell does his work. Strong wrestlers, but pretty even body styles here. At 182 pounds. Again, for the Panthers, they shifted some bodies around here weight-wise. As Ed Valdez told us before the match here tonight that Lucas Carranza has pulled weight all the way down to about 185 pounds. He's wrestling up at 220 tonight, but might be able to get himself into that 182-pound position. Now locking up, but a good job of countering by Cruz for Wenatchee. Still no points awarded as we're over a minute into this first round. Again, going for cradle. Cruz trying to counter here, keep himself out of the cradle. If Braswell spins around, he'll have the takedown. Still no advantage for either wrestler, says our official, Randy Miller. Braswell, the freshman, looking over towards his coaching staff, and Dave Stye trying to give him as much encouragement as he can here. Now he'll go with a crossface as Cruz comes back to his feet, and will readjust the headgear with 18 seconds left here in the first round. Omar Cruz, the sophomore for Wenatchee, and the freshman Caleb Braswell running out of time here in the first round, and it will end in a scoreless tie through one round here at Wenatchee High School. They go with odd or even on that pregame choice for the captains, and it will be Wenatchee choice, and they'll defer, so it'll be up to Braswell to choose whether he wants up or down. He'll take down to start the second round here in this 182-pound match. Hey, Stan, could I get you to put those on? Stan begrudgingly going to join us here on the NCWLIFE channel. Stan, thanks for taking a few moments here to join us on the broadcast tonight.
Yeah, kind of a pleasure to come back and watch some of these high school matches.
Well, you're not a stranger to this place. I see you just about every single match.
It's hard to get away from it, you know. When you've been involved with it for most of your life, it's still in your blood.
Now, you're from the Dakotas originally? Where are you from?
Yeah, Aberdeen, South Dakota.
Okay, as we get a two-point reversal here on the match here for Caleb Braswell, so the freshman in front of Omar Cruz. Can you watch a match and not coach? I mean, my dad is a longtime coach. We talked about that beforehand, and we've got stall warning whistled here against the West Valley wrestler. So the official talking. But can you watch this and not feel like you want to coach it?
I'm usually yelling, but I'm trying to stay pretty calm today. Yeah, it is hard. You know, you got it in your blood, but you know, you can yell and encourage things, but you know, it's hard for them to kind of concentrate and listen to somebody's voice. And I'll let Ed do the coaching now.
Nice reversal here, and maybe a pin possibility for Omar Cruz for Wenatchee. He gets the 2-point reversal, and we'll have near fall points coming. We're under a minute to go in this second round, and a pin.
Pretty good comeback for the.
That was excellent.
Yeah.
But you see the freshman there. He's obviously got the strength and body, but just the freshman for West Valley got himself out of sorts there, a little over edge on his balance there.
Yeah, exactly.
Joined by Stan Opp here, longtime coach at Wenatchee High School and Eastern Washington University. Stan, the wrestling is certainly today, it's a lot different than it used to be, and it's a crying shame to see so much of the collegiate programs going by the wayside here.
Yeah, it is really hard. I mean, you know, it's it's a product of a little bit of Title IX, and I mean, I did my wrestling in college back in South Dakota, and wrestling is still pretty big back in the Midwest, and you know, in the area out here, you know, there isn't really too many colleges that continue with their program. I think Oregon State is about the only one that still has wrestling. So
right.
it's tough for kids in the Northwest to, they want to go on and be, you know, with their college careers. There's a, you know, it's unfortunate, but you know, that's kind of the reality of it. It's still pretty heavy and big in the East and in the Midwest, but
well, and I guess thankfully for club sports still, and you know, the freestyle world, that still seems to be pretty strong.
Oh yeah. You know, internationally, the United States has done really well, and so that's kind of kept the programs going. But you know, it's hard for kids to want to continue on in their college career to stay in the area and do some wrestling. But I guess if you're good enough, you can make the next jump in the next level.
And we've certainly seen some wrestlers here from the Wenatchee Valley, not just Wenatchee High School, but Eastmont as well, make that step and be able to continue their wrestling careers.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I've had a few kids go on and compete in the NCWLIFE and stuff, and so it's not an easy task. I know it was a tough thing for me to do, but.
Match on the mat right now is 195 pounds. Chris Luke, the senior for West Valley, and Ronan Haynes, the senior for Wenatchee. Ronan nearly got the throw there. Stan, every coach has kind of their style of what, you know, and it kind of feeds off of how you liked to wrestle. As I've dealt with a lot of coaches, it kind of comes from their own style as far as, okay, this is a team that wrestles on their feet, or this is a team that you know, from the coach comes the counters. It's all about counters and then making the move off of a counter. What type, did you have a style, if there was anything that you felt was kind of the way your kids, if you looked at Wenatchee High School wrestlers under the stand-out program, well, okay, that's a Wenatchee kid right there.
Well, I think we fairly dominated on top. We were kind of a cradle-oriented team, and obviously you'd like to have everybody good at every level, but I mean, it kind of depends on the individual talent that you have and the desire that the kids want to improve in. But we were always really kind of dynamic on top with cradles and stuff. I mean, when we competed against other Big 9 schools, you know, they kind of knew that. And, you have to kind of change a little bit. But I know going against some of the coaches, they knew that they
practiced that week going into the match with you. They knew, okay, we got to counter the cradle.
Right.
Yeah, gotcha. We're in the second round of this one. It is a 1-0 score here as Ronan Haynes was able to work an escape against Chris Luke in our make that fifth match of the night. We had a forfeit in there. So Wenatchee on top of the team score, 18-3 right now, thanks to the pin by Omar Cruz. And we got a stall warning on both wrestlers. Nice to get the light out here, Stan, though, and kind of, you know, make it a neat scene for the wrestlers.
Yeah, that's something that I kind of brought in with, you know, the program when I started that. I said, we need to get a spotlight. We need to kind of accentuate the wrestling and stuff. I mean, when I competed in college, we always wrestled underneath the spotlight. And so that's one of the things I wanted to incorporate and bring out here. And I think it adds to some of the excitement of the match, kind of highlights everything. Usually it was, I think when I coached, there were no lights on and it was all completely dark.
Completely,
so, yeah.
So and it had that old feel, and you know, and I told you beforehand, here's a throw attempt by Ronan Haynes with a head and arm. He's able to get the takedown, and now looking for the pin.
That's pretty tight.
That is really tight. He's got 12 seconds left in the round here as he'll lean, and there's not much room there for the shoulder blade. Pin, and a win in the second round by pin here for Wenatchee's Ronan Haynes. And that'll be 1:55 into the second round.
At 220 pounds.
I know I did a lot of Greco-Roman wrestling, and that was one of my favorite moves, is the head and arm. But I've been in the under end of it.
Now, for your weight classification, what weight did you wrestle?
Well,
you don't see a lot of the smaller guys doing the head and arm stuff.
I kind of got introduced to a little. Well, one of my high school coaches took me to a junior Olympic tryout thing at Wyoming, and I wrestled a freestyle, and he talked me into doing the Greco, and that's about the only move I knew. But you know, it was one of the things that I kind of hit pretty good at. I know I've been on the other end of it, and it's not a good feeling.
Yeah, absolutely. Hunter Vickers here for West Valley going up against Lucas Carranza for the Wenatchee Panthers. Carranza, a junior, Vickers, a senior, and takedown for Lucas Carranza. How much does it mean to you as a coach to have a kid come into your program, knows nothing about wrestling or very little, and you just see them progress and have little, it's not about winning state or anything like that, but just succeeding in the sport that they've chosen to partake in. Wrestling's got to be one of the hardest sports out there.
Well, yeah, I've had a lot of kids. It built a lot of character. You have to have a lot of discipline. I know I've straightened, in the years I've coached, there were kids that were going in the wrong direction as far as their life, and I think that wrestling kind of turned them around, and they made, well, Luis Perez is one example of one of their assistant coaches. He was kind of that could go either way thing, and he turned his life around. Now he's a probation officer and helping out with the Panther wrestling program.
That is
but
fantastic.
it's kind of a unique situation to see how kids develop from one year to the next year to the next year, and they just have to be real patient, and you can't pick it up. I mean, some kids have natural talent, but I remember coaching Shane Cass. He came in at 130 his freshman year and was a state champion at 190 his senior year. So
isn't that something? And then like you say, the body changes that these kids go through. Our match right now, Carranza in front 3-2, was just awarded a penalty for locking the hands dangerous move here by Chris Luke, who had both arms kind of awkwardly barred up the wrong way there. And so the official stopped it. They're back in the center mat now with 25 seconds remaining in this first round of this 220-pound match here between Hunter Vickers, the senior here for the West Valley Rams, and Lucas Carranza, the junior for the Wenatchee Panthers. And a nice job of finding that half on the opposite side here for Vickers, going for a pin move, and he's got it with 3 seconds remaining here in the first round.
See, I just think in that case, he just doesn't have a lot of wrestling experience. I think this is the first year turning out, but he's got some potential, That's
what's so fun watching the JV matches sometimes before we get to the varsity matches. Is I was talking with Ed about this here a couple of matches ago, and you can see light bulbs going off in their head, like, I should try this, but I don't really know how to get there.
Yeah, that first year or two of wrestling is just kind of a learning experience. Like I say, some kids have natural talent, quickness, strength. I myself personally, I had to kind of rely on my technique, and I didn't, there were kids that were well built and much stronger than me, but I tried to out-slick them in technique.
Well, that's about drills.
Yeah.
Nothing but drills.
Yeah.
We're in our super heavyweight match here, 285 pounds. Parker Shea, the sophomore for West Valley. Mason Moore, freshman for Wenatchee. The match closed a little bit here by the pin from Hunter Vickers. 24-9 is our score right now. I was talking with Ed before the match tonight about this recognition for you going into the Panther Hall of Fame. I mean, you're already there in so many, recognitions. What does this mean to you to be recognized in the school you spent so much of your life in?
Well, it's quite an honor. I mean, it's a result of having good quality kids in the program, and it's not it's an honor. I mean, it's anytime you get recognized by your peers and in your school and shows that you put the work in, and you know, I mean, obviously it's not going to occur. Some of the success that you have is based on how well the kids respond to you as a coach, and
There's a pin by Mason Moore, a minute 27 seconds into the first round. And a nice job by Mason. Didn't look so good early, but ends up getting the takedown and getting the pin here. So the Panthers jump up 30-9. We had your daughter. I don't know where she went. I was going to put her on the air, her too. But how neat is that for your daughter, Carrie Finley, to be here? She came a little ways, Coach.
Yeah, she came all the way. She's teaching it the last 7 years in Cambodia at a school there, and you know, I kind of called her up and said, well, what are you doing this winter for Christmas break? And I said, you know, I'm getting inducted to the Hall of Fame. Would you like to come? And so she worked it out, and it's always a nice thing to have your daughter there to kind of share in with the glory that the honor that you're getting.
Back and forth forfeits here in the lower weights as Gabe Lovelace gets the forfeit win at 106 pounds for West Valley. Then Toby Hamilton gets the forfeit win at 113 as we move to 120 pounds here. It'll be Anthony Cappy, the sophomore for West Valley, against Orlando Cervantes, the freshman for Wenatchee. I don't want to keep you too long here, Stan, but we appreciate everything you've done for the world of wrestling here, not just in the Wenatchee Valley, but across the state of Washington and across the country, really.
Yeah.
And I'd love to, you know, we love to put wrestling on the TV. You know, it doesn't get, you know, I think the love that it deserves, but I come from a wrestling town in Cedar Woolley, so, you know, I got to.
Yeah.
But anyway, just on behalf of the wrestling community, thank you for everything that you've done.
You bet. Thank you for having me.
You bet. Stan Opp joining us here on the NCWLIFE channel. He'll be officially inducted during the ceremony tomorrow at the Town Toyota Center, which will be there for the basketball broadcast here on the NCWLIFE channel. So be sure and join us for that. They'll have that between the girls and boys basketball games tomorrow night at the Town Toyota Center. The Litter Box Classic is happening tomorrow at the TTC. Anthony Cappy, Orlando Cervantes at 120 pounds. And this match is nearly halfway through the first round. No score as of yet. Our broadcast here on the NCWLIFE channel brought to you by Color Effects, offering screen printing, embroidery, digital printing, and logo design for your team, school, business, or church at a fair price. Locally owned for over 20 years. Call Color Effects at 509-741-7609. Also, Global Car Care, a quality auto repair facility with highly trained technicians celebrating 25 years in the car care business. They speak your car's language at 1840 North Wenatchee Avenue. Still scoreless between Anthony Cappy and Orlando Cervantes in this 120-pound match. Is our team scores reflected. 36-15, Wenatchee on top. Panthers with make that 4 pins here tonight to a pin and a decision win for West Valley so far in this one. So the Panthers looking good right now anyway as far as getting their first dual meet win of the season. We got a stall warning whistled, or not whistled, but given here to the Wenatchee wrestler Orlando Cervantes. The official, Randy Miller, asking Cervantes to make some sort of move out there. 7 seconds left in this first round, and doesn't look like we're going to get any points awarded here before we reach the end of round number 1. Our broadcast tonight also brought to you by One Way Construction, a premier custom home builder and construction company for North Central Washington, including general contracting, framing, concrete, and consulting services online at onewayconstructionnw.com. So scoreless, Cervantes will take down here to start round number 2. Whistle sounds, and we've talked about how the West Valley Rams seem to have a proclivity for the cradles. And immediately they start trying to bar an arm up once again here with Anthony Cappy working on top. Cervantes hand fighting, trying to get that wrist right out of there. As Cappy again will try to position himself to wedge that arm out and get it up and gain the advantage. And a little move there, kind of more freestyle, trying to get some tip points, was Anthony Cappy. None awarded. Minute 10 left here in round number 2. Still scoreless in this match at 120 pounds. He's got the half in, but a good job of countering that by turning away from the half is Orlando Cervantes. Cervantes still working on the bottom. There's that half again, and then quickly turns away from the half with the good technique there on the counter, but then the arm barred up and looking for the far side cradle. 37 seconds left here in the second round, and he's able to get him tipped. Now it's up to Cervantes to try to stay alive here. Backing up on the cradle, and now just going for a half, trying to come chest to chest. I think he's got at least 2 points on a near fall. Looking for the first points of the game. It is a 3-point near fall, so a 3-0 lead here for Cappy over Cervantes for the Wenatchee Panthers. Again, Cervantes, not a lot of movement on the bottom, just kind of countering the moves on top, and the round will come to an end with Cappy leading it 3-0. A reminder, our broadcast coming up tomorrow night is the litter box games. We'll start with the Unified game at 5 from the Town Toyota Center. And then Wenatchee Eastmont girls, followed by the Wenatchee Eastmont boys. Basketball all night tomorrow night from the Town Toyota Center here on the NCWLIFE channel. So be sure and join us for that. So Cappy on the bottom here quickly works to his feet to start the third round, and a stall warning, and now a release, and a 1-point escape given to Cappy. He leads it 3-0, so Cervantes is going to have to do some work on his feet here with 1:38 to go in round number 3. Match began at 152 pounds with Connor Cook decisioning Jordan Velasquez 7-2. And a 2-point takedown given here to Cappy, so Cappy in charge now. 6-0 in the match, and he's got that half in deep, and it looks like Cervantes maybe gassing out a little bit on the bottom here, as he's done a pretty good job of fighting against those moves from the top. And no advantage gained here as far as any tip points for Cappy. And so a minute left in the match. Cappy on top 6-0, trying to get any more points possible that he can. But again, Connor Cook with a win over Jordan Velasquez 7-2 at 152 pounds. The 160-pound match went to Jason Briley of Wenatchee by pin 1:23 into the first round. Orlando Rodriguez picked up 6 points on a forfeit at 170 pounds. The 182-pound match went to Omar Cruz by pin 1:09 into the first round. 195 pounds also a pin in the second round, 1:55 into it for Ronan Haynes. So the Panthers led at that point 24-3. They expanded the lead to West Valley scored a pin at 220 pounds. Hunter Vickers pinned Lucas Carranza 57 seconds into the first round. And then Mason Moore pulled off the pin at 285. Freshman over the sophomore Parker Shea for the Wenatchee win at 285. So that made it 30-9. Then a couple of forfeits back and forth made it 36-15. That's where we sit right now with 17 seconds left in this match. It looks like Anthony Cappy going to get the victory here as he leads at 6-0. Just not a lot of activity by Orlando Cervantes, the freshman for the Wenatchee Panthers. And that will be the match, and it will be a win by decision. 6-0, the win here for Anthony Cappy. That will be followed by our 126-pound match. Jackson Whittam, sophomore from West Valley, and Tyler Skyleman, the freshman for the Wenatchee Panthers. That's up next here on the NCWLIFE channel. Our coverage tonight brought to you by The Windmill, a time-tested restaurant providing traditional steakhouse meals and a homey, old-fashioned dining room. Open 7 days a week, 4:30 to 9. Call 509-665-9529 for more information. So a 126-pound match straight ahead here. Jackson Whittam and Tyler Skyleman, sophomore versus freshman at 126. Nice single leg there by Whittam. Got it in deep. The counter by the freshman Skyleman. Now going for the elevator is Whittam. And see if Skylerman can get that whizzer in. Didn't look for it. Just reaches out. He's much taller than his opponent, so he can reach back and grab a foot and try to direct traffic from there. And both wrestlers are out of bounds. It looked like our official, Randy Miller, was going to give some points there, but then decided not to. Minute 20 to go in the first round, scoreless so far between Jackson Ridham and Tyler Skylerman. We'll say Whittam the diminutive compared to Skylerman out there for the Wenatchee Panthers. Appreciate you joining us for Big Nine Wrestling tonight here on the NCW Life channel, also on the web at ncwlife.com. Whittam backs up, gets him back towards the center mat to do some work here with 49 seconds left in this first round. So a long night of basketball tomorrow night. We'll have bowling on the air coming up Saturday at 2 o'clock. Yesterday's Wenatchee Eastmont bowling match will be on the TV Saturday at 2. Emotional day yesterday at Eastmont Lanes. And thoughts and prayers going out to the Johnson family and Hannah Johnson with their trials and tribulations undergoing right now at Children's Hospital. With a recent diagnosis over the holiday break. Nice takedown there for Skylerman. So he'll lead it 2-0 with 8 seconds left here in the first round. Skylerman, much longer wrestler. Looked like he was going to go for cradle up there, but ran out of time. But we'll lead it 2-0 here as we head to the second round. So bowling Saturday at 2. And that'll be followed by more basketball as the Eastmont Wildcats will take on the Davis Pirates. Girls at 5:30, boys at 7:30. That's Saturday night right here on your home for local sports, NCW Life channel. Both wrestlers on their feet as Wenatchee deferred, so the choice went to Jackson Whittam. Whittam just chose to have both wrestlers up. Good shot again here. And he will cover and get the 2-point takedown. Looked like he locked his hands there. The official was looking for it, didn't quite see it. And now Skylerman will get himself out and get an escape. He leads at 3-2. Minute 24 to go here in round number 2. 126 pounds. Jackson Whittam, sophomore for West Valley. Tyler Skylerman, the freshman for Wenatchee High School. Skylerman looked like he had him sucked up good for a possible throw there. Good place to do it is near out of bounds. So if you mess it up, you can still survive possibly by scooting yourself out of bounds. 50 seconds left in the period as they go out of bounds, and the official will bring them back to center circle. Wrestling is always an interesting sport. Of course, I guess you have that in football too, where you got a lot of coaches hollering from the sidelines. I guess it's a little more apparent here in wrestling. And a throw there to his back by Skylerman. He's got both arms pinned up here with 24 seconds to go. Wrestler on the bottom, Whittam, looks like he's in pain, and it is a pin for Tyler Skylerman. How about that? 1:41 into round number 1 as the Panthers pick up the victory to make it 42-18. So the Panthers are going to get their first dual match win of the season here against West Valley, with just 3 matches remaining and one of those being a forfeit going to Wenatchee. So the Panthers are going to get their first win of the season here, and it will come on this 3rd of January 2019. A takedown by Hayden Rose McKenzie, the senior at 132 pounds, wrestling against the junior for West Valley, Donald Jump. Jump, meanwhile, gets an escape, so 2-1 to score. Rose McKenzie for Wenatchee and Jump for West Valley. Again, Rose McKenzie gets the takedown, trying to keep the head here. Hand fight underneath for Jump. Back to his feet is Jump and running away and getting the escape. So it's now 4-2, our score, with Rose McKenzie on top for Wenatchee. So Rose McKenzie showing that he certainly has the takedown moves so far, and Jump showing that he can certainly get away so far. And now right back towards his back on the takedown this time, getting some near fall points as well, and a pin right to his back. Hayden Rose McKenzie will get the victory 1 minute into the first round via the pin. Give Wenatchee a 48-18 lead here on the pin by Rose McKenzie. One more match left and then a forfeit in our final weight class at 145. So this will be our final match of the night here at 138 pounds, as it will be Josh Luke, the freshman for West Valley, and Diego Gonzalez, the senior for the Wenatchee Panthers. We believe they did list 2 people, did Wenatchee, in their lineups here at this weight classification, so we're not sure. So that's Diego Gonzalez out there and Josh Luke. So here we go. Underway in our final match of the night at 138 pounds. I think they're going to do some exhibition matches after the varsity match is over. And here's a 2-point takedown quickly for Gonzalez. So he leads it. Gonzalez maybe looking for cradle here as well. Sitting out is Josh Luke, freshman, battling from the bottom here for West Valley. Shooting a half in while he's still not or up on his base, and now quickly to his back. And Gonzalez looking for an exclamation point to the match tonight for the Wenatchee Panthers here at 138 pounds with 1:15 to go in the first round. Josh Luke fighting from the bottom, trying to stay alive here. Meanwhile, sprawling out is Diego Gonzalez, and he'll get the pin. And that pin will come 59 seconds into the first round. So a win by pin will give Wenatchee a 54-18 lead, and add 6 more points to that as Leo Gutzweiler will get the forfeit at 145 pounds. So our final score here tonight will be Wenatchee winning at 60-18 here over the West Valley Rams. So that is going to do it for our broadcast here. Again, they're going to have some other matches going on, but we will step aside and come back with the post game coming up next here on the NCWLIFE channel.
Können Sie mir das Problem sagen?
Meinen Zylinder überschwingt. Flute, ich habe mein Fugen verloren.
Keine Sorge.
Global Car Care. We speak your car's language.
Fragen schließen. Hey, you.
Well, I got a leaky transmission, my head gasket's shot, and I could use some new brake pads.
That dog don't hunt.
Global Car Care. We speak your car or truck's language.
Choose the pros, Alignment Pros. When your vehicle needs brakes, shocks, struts, or alignment, choose the experts in their field. Alignment Pros and Express Lube with a 5-star rating. The work they perform on your vehicle is as impeccable as their shop. With state-of-the-art equipment, Alignment Pros can handle all large or small vehicles, specialty cars, lifted or lowered. Alignment Pros does them all. Keep your car in top shape at Alignment Pros and Express Lube in East Wenatchee.
Hey everyone, did you know that the NCWLIFE channel is North Central Washington's go-to source for news? No matter how you prefer to view your news, NCWLIFE has you covered. Watch the evening news weeknights on TV, stream it, read it at ncwlife.com, or catch the latest news by following us on Facebook. Stay informed with local news, sports, weather, and shows featuring local people and events. NCWLIFE, a reflection and a spotlight of the communities we call home.
You don't want to see this happen. It's the oil light on your car. Oil is the lube of life for your car's engine. At Alignment Pros and Express Lube, they pour the best oil your car deserves. Expect fast, friendly, superior service in a clean environment. They'll change your oil and perform a 21-point inspection while you enjoy the comfort of their amazing waiting room. Keep your car in top shape at Alignment Pros and Express Lube in East Wenatchee.
Hi, I'm Kevin Prosser, and this is my print shop, Color Effects in Cashmere. Color Effects offers screen printing, embroidery, and digital printing on t-shirts, jerseys, bags, banners, signs, and more. With 30 years experience, you won't be disappointed with the quality and quick turnaround times you will get at more than a fair price. Please call Color FX.
What's your Automocha emergency?
It's a Paprika mocha with whip.
The espresso shakes are my most favorite because I can get any flavor. Peanut butter chocolate for pita.
Definitely espresso shakes.
My favorite is the mocha for pitas.
A peach Red Bull.
Welcome back here on the postgame show on the NCWLIFE channel as the Wenatchee Panthers get a 60-18 win over the West Valley Rams here tonight. And, well, it was a win by pin for the most part here tonight for the Panthers as pins were collected on the night by Jason Briley at 160 pounds, Omar Cruz at 182, Ronan Haynes at 195, also the freshman Mason Moore at 285, Tyler Skyleman, the freshman, getting a pin at 126, Hayden Rose McKenzie at 132, and Diego Gonzalez a win by pin at 138 pounds as the Panthers rack up the points and get their first win of the Big Nine season in dual meet fashion here over the West Valley Rams by a final of 60-18. Thanks again to Stan Opp for joining us here on the broadcast tonight. It meant a lot to me, and hopefully it meant something to those wrestling fans out there who've been around the wrestling world for a long time. Stan Opp being inducted into the Wenatchee High School Hall of Fame this weekend. Speaking of which, we're going to be back on the air tomorrow, 5 o'clock for Unified Basketball at the Town Toyota Center as the Wenatchee Panthers take on the Eastmont Wildcats. We'll have that for you live at 5. That'll be followed by the girls' game at about 6 o'clock, and then the boys' game at 7:30 from the Town Toyota Center coming up tomorrow night. I wanted to thank our crew for helping with the broadcast here tonight, to Chelsea Craig behind the camera here on the floor, to Jessica Medina up there in the stands, as well as Becca Freemuth back in the studios, and Dan Coons for helping to do some line producing here tonight. It's going to wrap it up for our broadcast. Wow, an hour and we're done. How about that? As the Wenatchee Panthers get their first win of the dual meet season tonight over West Valley, 60-18. Have a good night, everybody.
Thanks for watching High School Sports on the NCWLIFE channel. Tonight's broadcast was brought to you by Alignment Pros, Automocha, Color FX, Global Car Care, One Way Construction, Dick's Heating and Air Conditioning, Biosports Physical Therapy, and the Windmill Restaurant. This concludes today's coverage of high school sports on your home for local sports, the NCWLIFE channel.